Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that many of us encounter in our daily lives: how to deal with people who always have to be right, through the lens of Stoicism. Whether it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member, dealing with someone who insists on being right all the time can be challenging and frustrating. But don't worry, the ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers us timeless wisdom to handle such situations gracefully and effectively. In this video, we'll explore practical strategies rooted in Stoic principles to help you maintain your peace of mind and navigate interactions with those who have a need to be right. By the end, you'll have a toolkit of techniques to apply in your everyday life. So let's embark on this journey together and learn how to cultivate a Stoic mindset in the face of challenging personalities. Part 1. Core principles and key concepts. To effectively handle people who always need to be right, we need to delve into the core principles of Stoicism and its key concepts, which will serve as our foundation. Section 1. Core principles of Stoicism. At the heart of Stoicism are four cardinal virtues. 1. Wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to navigate complex situations logically and calmly. It involves making decisions based on rational thinking rather than emotions. For instance, imagine a heated discussion at work. A Stoic approach would involve stepping back, assessing the facts, and responding in a way that is constructive rather than reactive. Wisdom helps us see beyond the immediate emotional response and consider the long-term implications of our actions. 2. Courage. Courage in Stoicism is not just about physical bravery, but also moral courage. It's about facing uncomfortable truths and standing up for what is right, even when it's difficult. An example would be calmly asserting your viewpoint in a discussion without being aggressive, even if you are in the minority. Courage helps us remain steadfast and true to our principles in the face of opposition or criticism. 3. Justice. Justice is about treating others fairly and respecting their rights. It involves acting with integrity and honesty in all dealings. For example, in a debate, justice would mean listening to others' opinions respectfully, even if you disagree. Justice ensures that we approach each situation with fairness and consideration for all parties involved. 4. Temperance. Temperance is self-control and moderation. It's about finding balance and not giving in to excesses or extreme emotions. In conversations, this might mean maintaining your composure and not letting anger or frustration dictate your responses. Temperance helps us remain calm and measured, preventing us from overreacting or being swayed by our emotions. Section 2. Key Stoic concepts. Dichotomy of control. This principle teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. According to Stoics, we can only control our thoughts, actions, and reactions, while everything else is outside our control. For example, you cannot control someone else's need to be right, but you can control your response to it. This realization helps us focus our energy on what we can influence, reducing frustration and stress. Amor fati. This concept translates to love of fate. It encourages us to embrace whatever happens, seeing every event, good or bad, as an essential part of our life. For instance, if a person constantly corrects you, rather than getting frustrated, see it as an opportunity to practice patience and understanding. Embracing amor fati helps us find value and meaning in all experiences, even the challenging ones. Premeditatio malorum. This practice involves anticipating potential challenges and mentally preparing for them. By doing so, we reduce their impact when they occur. Before entering a situation where you expect someone to assert their rightness, prepare yourself mentally for how you will respond calmly and constructively. Premeditatio malorum helps us stay grounded and ready for whatever comes our way, making us more resilient in the face of adversity. By understanding and embracing these principles and concepts, we can navigate interactions with difficult individuals more effectively and maintain our peace of mind. Part 2. Dealing with people who always have to be right. Encountering individuals who always need to be right can be frustrating. They can dominate conversations, dismiss others' viewpoints, and create an environment of tension. Here's how Stoic principles can help us manage these interactions effectively. Section 1. Practicing the dichotomy of control. When dealing with someone who insists on being right, remember the dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control: your thoughts, reactions, and behavior. You cannot control their need to be right, but you can control how you respond. Example: if a colleague dismisses your ideas during a meeting, instead of getting defensive, take a deep breath and choose to respond calmly. You can say, "I understand your perspective." Here's another way to look at it. This approach shows that you respect their opinion, but also have your own viewpoint. By focusing on your response, you maintain control over your emotions and the direction of the conversation. Real-life application. Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a prominent Stoic philosopher. Despite being in a position of immense power, Marcus constantly practiced the dichotomy of control. He dealt with difficult individuals and situations by focusing on his own actions and responses, rather than trying to control others. When faced with a stubborn advisor who always believed he was right, Marcus would listen patiently, acknowledge the points made, and then calmly present his own reasoned arguments. This approach often diffused tension and led to more productive discussions. Section 2. Embracing amor fati. Embrace the situation as it is, without wishing it were different. This acceptance can help you maintain your inner peace. By accepting that some people have a strong need to be right, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration. Example: when a family member constantly tries to prove their point, remind yourself that their behavior is part of their nature. Accept it and focus on maintaining a peaceful mindset. Instead of trying to change them, work on how you react to them. Real-life application. Epictetus, another renowned Stoic philosopher, taught his students to accept whatever happens as necessary and beneficial for their growth. For instance, if a friend always tries to correct you, see it as a chance to practice patience. Over time, this acceptance can lead to a more harmonious relationship, as you no longer get upset over their behavior. Section 3. Applying premeditatio malorum. Prepare yourself mentally for interactions with people who always have to be right. Anticipate their behavior and decide in advance how you will respond. Example: before attending a social event where you know a particular person will be present, visualize the likely scenarios and your calm, measured responses. This mental rehearsal can reduce anxiety and help you stay composed. Real-life application. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, would often reflect on potential challenges he might face each day. He advised his students to do the same, to be better prepared for life's difficulties. For example, if you know you'll be meeting a particularly opinionated friend, think through how you'll handle their need to be right. This preparation can make you feel more in control and less reactive during the actual interaction. By incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily life, you can better handle interactions with people who always need to be right, maintaining your own peace and composure. Part 3. Practical Stoic Techniques. Now let's delve into some practical techniques derived from Stoicism to handle interactions with those who always need to be right. Section 1. The art of listening. One of the most powerful tools in dealing with such individuals is active listening. By genuinely listening to their points, you show respect and can better understand their perspective, which may diffuse tension. Technique. Practice active listening by maintaining eye contact, nodding, and summarizing their points before responding. For instance, you can say, "I hear that you believe this approach is best because of X, Y, and Z." This shows that you are paying attention and respect their viewpoint, which can make them feel heard and less defensive. Real-life example. In a work setting, imagine you have a colleague who always insists their way is the best. By actively listening and repeating their points, you can validate their feelings and then gently introduce your own ideas. This method often leads to more collaborative discussions and can reduce the friction caused by their need to be right. Section 2. Socratic questioning. Engage in Socratic questioning to gently challenge their views without directly confronting them. This method encourages critical thinking and self-reflection. Technique. Ask open-ended questions that encourage them to think deeper about their stance. For example, what evidence supports your view? Or how would you address the counterarguments? These questions make them think more critically about their position and can lead to a more balanced discussion. Real-life example. In a family discussion, if someone insists their opinion is the only valid one, use Socratic questioning to explore their reasoning. You might ask, "Can you explain why you believe this is the best solution?" Or, "How do you think this approach compares to others?" This approach can help them see that there are multiple perspectives and may soften their rigid stance. Section 3. Emotional detachment. Practice emotional detachment by viewing the situation objectively. Detach from the emotional charge of the interaction and respond with reason and calm. Technique. Imagine the conversation as a scene in a play. Observe it from a third-person perspective, which can help you remain calm and composed. Remind yourself that their need to be right is not a reflection on you. Real-life example. During a heated debate, visualize yourself as an observer rather than a participant. This can help you stay calm and respond rationally rather than emotionally. For instance, if a friend criticizes your opinion harshly, take a step back mentally and respond with, "I see your point, and here's another perspective." Section 4. Setting boundaries. Set clear boundaries to protect your mental and emotional well-being. It's okay to disengage from unproductive arguments or to limit your interactions with such individuals. Technique. Politely but firmly steer the conversation away from contentious topics. You can say, "I think we have different perspectives on this. Let's agree to disagree and move on." This helps to maintain a respectful environment and prevents escalation. Real-life example. If a family member always tries to argue about politics, set a boundary by saying, "I understand this is important to you, but I'd rather not discuss politics right now. Let's talk about something else." This helps maintain peace and ensures that your interactions remain positive. Section 5. Self-reflection. Reflect on your own reactions and behavior. Use challenging interactions as opportunities for personal growth and self-improvement. Technique. After an encounter, take some time to reflect on what you did well and what you could improve. Ask yourself, did I remain calm? How can I handle it better next time? This self-reflection can help you become more adept at handling difficult situations over time. Real-life example. After a contentious meeting, take a few moments to reflect on your responses. Did you stay calm and composed? What could you have done differently? Use these reflections to improve your future interactions and grow as a person. By applying these practical Stoic techniques, you can handle interactions with those who always need to be right more effectively, maintaining your composure and fostering more constructive conversations. Part 4. Real-life applications. Let's look at some real-life scenarios and how we can apply Stoic principles to manage them effectively. Scenario 1. The workplace. You have a colleague who always insists on having the final say in meetings. 1. Dichotomy of control. Focus on presenting your ideas clearly and professionally, regardless of their reaction. Understand that you cannot control their need to dominate the conversation, but you can control how you present your ideas. Example, if your colleague dismisses your suggestion outright, respond with, "I appreciate your feedback. Here's why I think this approach could be beneficial." This way, you maintain professionalism and keep the discussion constructive. 2. Active listening. Listen to their points and acknowledge them before presenting your own. Example, I understand that you believe this method will work best because of X, Y, and Z. Here's another angle we could consider. This shows respect and can lead to a more balanced discussion. 3. Socratic questioning. Use questions to explore their ideas further and introduce alternative viewpoints subtly. Example, what do you think could be the potential downsides of this approach? Or, How do you think this strategy aligns with our overall goals? This encourages critical thinking and can help them see the broader picture. Scenario 2. Family gatherings. A family member constantly tries to dominate conversations with their opinions. 1. Amor fati. Accept their behavior as part of the family dynamic. Recognize that you cannot change them, but you can control how you react. Example: when they start dominating the conversation, internally accept that this is who they are and focus on maintaining your calm. 2. Emotional detachment. Stay calm and avoid getting drawn into heated arguments. Example: if the conversation gets heated, visualize yourself as an observer and respond with, "I see your point. Here's another perspective." This helps to keep the discussion civil. 3. Setting boundaries. Politely change the subject or disengage if the conversation becomes too contentious. Example: I think we have different views on this. Let's talk about something else. This prevents unnecessary arguments and keeps the gathering pleasant. Scenario 3. Social media. Someone on social media repeatedly argues with your posts, insisting they are right. 1. Premeditatio malorum. Anticipate negative comments and prepare measured responses. Example: before posting, think about potential arguments and how you will respond calmly and constructively. 2. Emotional detachment. Remember that online interactions are often more contentious due to anonymity. Example: when someone criticizes your post harshly, remind yourself that it's not personal and respond with, "I appreciate your viewpoint. Here's another way to look at it." 3. Setting boundaries. Decide when to disengage from the conversation or block users who are persistently argumentative. Example: if the discussion becomes unproductive, you can say, "It seems we're not going to agree on this. Let's agree to disagree." If necessary, use the platform's tools to block or mute the individual. By applying Stoic principles in these real-life scenarios, you can navigate difficult interactions more effectively, maintaining your peace of mind and fostering more constructive dialogues. Dealing with people who always have to be right can be challenging, but with the wisdom of Stoicism, we can navigate these interactions with grace and composure. By focusing on what we can control, embracing situations as they are, and preparing ourselves mentally, we can maintain our inner peace and integrity. Remember, the goal is not to change others, but to cultivate our own virtues and respond with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each interaction is an opportunity for personal growth and practicing Stoic principles. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Stoicism and its practical applications in dealing with difficult personalities. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on living a balanced and fulfilling life. Let us know in the comments how you plan to apply these Stoic techniques in your life. Until next time, stay calm and stay stoic.